I did see Terrence Crawford with a big smile ringside as you were beating up on Teofimo. You know, you have the likes of Andre Ward, Clarissa Shields, Terrence, obviously, and Mayweather backing you up. Do you feel like, you know, at this time, it was almost like a collective win for not just you, but your team as well, after all the, you know, shit-talking that Teofimo did to not just you, but everybody in your team?
Yeah, I got the last laugh tonight. Like I said, I appreciate Floyd, Clarissa, Bud, Andre Ward. I'm glad to have these relationships in boxing. I'm glad to be able to call them and pick their brains and get better at my own craft. So shout out to them. Shout out to my guy, Eddie Hearn. He been supporting me from the jump. He's a real promoter, and he's probably one of the best promoters in boxing. So
The celebration hadn't even cooled down before the politics kicked in. Just hours after Shakur Stevenson delivered a masterclass, breaking down Teofimo Lopez and capturing the WBO super lightweight title, the World Boxing Council stepped in, not with congratulations, and not with a unification offer, but with a shocker. Shakur Stevenson, one of the most gifted pound-for-pound fighters on the planet, was officially stripped of his lightweight world title. On the surface, it looked like routine boxing bureaucracy. But according to Shakur, this wasn't about rules or regulations. This was about money, plain and simple.
Hey y'all, what's up, box fans? They didn't strip Shakur Stevenson. The WBC, boy, they ain't playing. They low down, boy. They didn't strip Shakur Stevenson of the 135-pound WBC title, y'all. Said due to, you know, the fact of, you know, homicide Hank Henry Armstrong, you know, after he held belts at, I think, featherweight, 147 and middleweight, they made it a rule that a champion can't hold a belt simultaneously. Now, I was gonna say something about I ain't saying that just to say it, but I didn't know if they could do that with a single belt or if it was just if they were undisputed. But apparently, you know, the WBC, you know, being low down, being petty, you know, want to follow the rules and say, you know, you can't simultaneously hold two belts or however many belts in different divisions.
Stevenson didn't stay quiet. He went straight to social media and unloaded a brutal accusation that pulled the curtain back on boxing's dirty politics. He labeled the organization as crooks and claimed the belt was taken for one reason only: he refused to pay. According to Shakur, the WBC demanded a massive $100,000 sanctioning fee from his purse for the Lopez fight, a fight that didn't even have the WBC title on the line. When he refused, the belt was allegedly yanked in retaliation. The WBC, meanwhile, issued a carefully worded statement saying the move was fully within their rules. Their explanation was simple. Shakur now holds a WBO title at 140 pounds, and under their regulations, a fighter can't hold championships in two weight classes without special approval. On paper, it sounds reasonable, but the timing tells a different story. There was no grace period, no discussion, just immediate action, the kind of speedboxing only seems to find when money is involved.
In the light of champion Stevenson now being the reigning WBO super lightweight world champion and consistent with the WBC rules and regulations, the WBC has declared vacant its lightweight world title. The WBC wishes champion Stevenson continued success in all his future endeavors, both inside and outside the ring. Now, here's the thing for me. Yes, I'm sure that it is in the ring. I mean, it is in the rules that that you cannot hold a championship between the WBC and another sanctioning body in two different weight classes. You can't do it. Also, you really can't hold belts in two different weight classes at the same time. That said, I still think that the WBC's move in not allowing Shakur Stevenson to make the decision as to what he's going to do is a little bit of a spit in the face, and it is not the first spit in the face that camp has had from the WBC recently. Because if you recall, Terrence Bud Crawford was the WBC champion after he beat Canelo Alvarez for the WBC belt, and they got into a scrum about the sanctioning fees. And right there, they said, nope, if you say you're not paying these fees, we're taking your belt. And they stripped Terrence Crawford for not paying the fee.
Money, Shakur says, is the real heart of this mess. He insists this wasn't a misunderstanding, it was a shakedown that failed. Stevenson claims the WBC tried to pressure pressure him into paying a fee for a fight that had nothing to do with them. He was fighting for a WBO belt against a WBO champion. The green belt wasn't even in the building. Still, according to Shakur, the organization wanted a six-figure cut of his earnings. His response was blunt and personal. He said he'd rather give that $100,000 to his daughter than hand it over to people he believes didn't earn it. By bringing his family into the moment, Shakur made one thing clear: no belt is worth compromising his principles or his future.
Right here, this is the WBC championship. They could have given people an opportunity to hold that belt. For example, they could have had an opportunity for him to hold that belt and given him an opportunity to say what he was going to do, as far as staying at 140 or 135. That said, Shakur Stevenson has been saying that he wanted to move back down to 135 after he won the 140-pound title. He said he was planning on staying, made public statements that he was going to be staying at the weight class, but it is what it is now that he's been stripped. So, the options just got a lot more thin from Shakur. So he's going to have to hold on to that WBO belt at 140 pounds and start doing work with guys in the 140 pound division.
Shakur believes this situation runs even deeper than a billing dispute. He says he's caught in the crossfire of a much bigger war, one involving his mentor and close friend, Terrence "Bud" Crawford. Stevenson openly suggested the WBC is turning on him because of their long-standing beef with Crawford. That feud has been simmering for years, ever since Crawford was stripped of his own welterweight title ahead of the Errol Spence Jr. megafight, a move Crawford also blamed on his refusal to pay steep sanctioning fees. If Shakur is right, this isn't just about one fighter or one belt. It's about power, money, and a system that punishes those who refuse to play along.
I see Mauricio, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the f you think I am? Boy, you better slap your self. Ain't paying your ass you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the green belt, which don't mean real belt is the ring belt, which is free. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? You can take the belt.